All right, welcome to the party, pals. So I'm going to go ahead and run through this introduction, and then we'll go ahead and get back into the risk register itself. So for the last couple of weeks, we started with building out the risk register. Before that, we actually had a video that went through how to learn about a risk register. And then throughout this period of time, we've just been going through and filling it out as we go. Like yesterday, we were finishing up some of the likelihood and impact statements and so forth. Today, I'm going to go ahead and fill out a couple of those. And then what the plan is so next Monday and Tuesday are the last days for our risk register portion that we're going to cover. Those days are going to be spent reviewing and going back over everything. So then today may be a little bit of a shorter video. What we're going to primarily do is I'm going to fill out those last couple of items there. And then we're just going to go through and do like AMA related to it. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have been working through building a risk register and you guys have want anything reviewed or otherwise, definitely let us know. One of the best places to do that is going to be Discord. So not only can you share your personal like LinkedIn profile and so forth in the live chat that gets relayed to all of the different platforms, but you can also go ahead and like at me inside of the Discord live chat as well, which just highlights the message for me. But yeah, let's go ahead and get the party started. GRC Mafia. So to start off with, so we're all here for a shared mission to break down barriers, foster collaboration and community towards a more secure future. We're all here to learn and grow together. If you guys have any questions, definitely ask them. Even if it doesn't pertain to what we're talking about at that time, worst case scenario, we'll circle back around to them. Now, I may open up the stage itself, considering the fact that we're just going to be doing kind of a review a little bit, an AMA style type of thing, to kind of recap everything before we move into next week, where we're going to actually go back over everything. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and change this around real quick. All right. So if you do come up on stage, you do not have to turn on your video if you would not like to. You could just turn on your microphone if you'd like. Ask questions, share your personal LinkedIn or other social channels or so forth. Share other useful resources or what's working for you, even if it's not exactly what we're talking about. There's a lot of different people out here in the community that could find that useful. And then also don't share anything you don't want to be public. So this is not only recorded, but live streamed. And if you do share something you don't want to be public, let me know. So that way, then I can go through and get that removed or redacted or otherwise. You could reach out to me on Discord, LinkedIn, or you can also contact me at contact@studygrc.org. Our new schedule here is so Monday, Tuesday, hands-on labs. This month we're doing risk register. Starting out next month, I'm going to start getting those videos published out. We're going to be doing like asset inventory and what platforms and vendors we're working with and so forth. That's going to be some of the first things that we work with next month. They start getting that prepared so that way we can go into an actual assessment. Wednesday is our GRC Let's Get Technical. So if you join us here tomorrow at about this time, then we will be going over like introduction to networking, a very foundational understanding of networking, like what Wi-Fi cards are, Ethernet cable and routers, and just how some of that stuff works a little bit. And then Fridays is just an open AMA open stage for us to just socialize and network for about an hour on Fridays. That's a little bit more casual than our Thursday meeting, which is Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central. Let's see. And this Thursday is our open discussions. So we don't have a set topic for this Thursday meeting. And then you can also learn more at our website, so studygrc.org. Also, a couple awesome people to check out is Simply Cyber. B-Dubs also has a website posting blog articles every single Monday. And then also a regular in the community is PBO, Professor Black Ops, who's been very... made a massive impact. And then here in a moment, I'm going to go ahead and transition over here to the spreadsheet itself and then just double check chat here. And so you'll see here up on the screen, the risk register that we've started with so far. So there's a couple different line items that we haven't filled out completely. I'm going to go through and complete those. And then really this is just going to be more of an AMA type of thing if you guys have any questions up to this point until next week. Because next week we're going to go back through all of the line items one by one and review it. Welcome to the party, pal, Ben Tech. See Alan. I see AMK and Rhonda popped in. GRC Mafia. Oh, PBO is here. Bam. Welcome to the party, pal. And so I don't know how many of you are going through and building out the risk register at this time. If you guys are, feel free to drop that link to like a view only on Discord or otherwise, or you can also send that to me personally if you would like. I don't have to bring it up on live stream, but I'm more than happy to go through and review any other projects that you guys have already started compiling. And I'm going to grab this other link for you too here in a second. So I just went ahead and dropped the open stage link if anybody would like to come up. Like I said, I'm just going to go through these couple line items and then we'll just go into like an AMA style. And then I also want to grab this other link for the template. Welcome to Party Pal, Jeffrey. So now I just dropped the template for the risk register that we did in the chat. So if you guys wanted to go through and do a risk register of some sort, you're more than welcome to. All right, let's see here. I hope everybody's having a great week. We're almost halfway there. PBO's course is coming along, I saw too. Progress. And let me know if that music is a little too loud. I think it's a little bit better with just some background noise itself. All right. And then I'm going to share. I shared this the other day too. So if you guys want to see the view only for this is the document I'm actually working on right now and that we've actually been building as well. So if you want to just view it, you're welcome to do that as well. You can pull that open in another tab. And then you can see here, one of the ones that I did skip over was lack of regulatory compliance. That was one of the ones I skipped over just because legal issues or fines. I felt like that was a little bit of an overlap. Now this could be still considered two separate ones. Let me zoom in a little bit here. By the way, this music is called corporate. This is supposed to be like elevator music. All right, so I just wanted to compare these two different ones. I still think these should be separated. So one is for legal issues or fines. The other one's regulatory compliance, which is where I got confused before. So you could see like one of the risk strategy itself, I listed as aligned policy with regulations, and then also education and training. And then the actual steps to implementation would be policy implementation and regular ongoing training education to ensure compliance, biannual reviews for compliance. I kind of think that that should be moved down here. Whereas like the legal issues could be if like somebody sues us, not so much regulatory. So I'm going to refill out this line item 6 for legal issues or fines. So financial penalties, reputational damage, legal cost, operational disruption, non-compliance with regulations, contractual breach. And so also what's mentioned here is like the GDPR, CCPA, and there's a lot more. There's like 4 additional states that recently went through and implemented their own privacy laws as well. Let me pull this other thing up here. So the IAPP is a really great website for the privacy side of everything. They have a lot of different certifications and so forth. I was just going to drop that as a resource for their news section. So they do have a section in here for the US news. So that's a really great resource right there. Oh, let me go ahead and get that over to you on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn does not allow us to relay the chat, but I can go ahead and put it in there directly. And it's not even letting me post it. All right, so I got you the first one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and copy the link for the template itself. So Eve, I went ahead and posted both of those different documents. So the one that we have been working on, and then also the template that we have as well. We're definitely just going through and trying to showcase the risk register portion of it and some of the different tasks that are involved with it, and completely open to feedback and so forth as well. And additional items to add, to include here as well. So then legal issues or fines. All right, so that's going to be a little bit different than what I had originally marked that as. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this out entirely. And then also this could be involved with the entire board itself, really. But I'm going to go ahead and mark president who, would, be held responsible for that kind of stuff typically. The board. In partnership with probably the CISO to get a lot of that implemented. And so then what is the likelihood of us getting some type of legal issue, getting sued or fines or otherwise? It does mention like GDPR, CCPA. We do have somewhat of an overlap on that other one due to regulatory. But so I think the likelihood of this is a little low. We're making our own content. When we do share things, it's like the direct websites and so forth. We try to be as transparent as possible about all that kind of stuff and so forth, and give credit where credit's due and so forth. So I feel like that's going to be pretty low on the totem pole. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that at probably a 2, just to be on the safe side there. Now, what would be the impact of that? We can also look back over here on this other sheet here for likelihood and risk values and see here that we can take a look at the impact levels. And so looking here, we can go ahead and take a look at this, which is based off of the 830. And so I'm thinking this is going to be higher up on the totem pole, just because we're a small business, we're a small nonprofit, and getting a lawsuit or something like that could be completely business ending. So it could be absolutely critical. So like a 10 value would be the threat could threat event could be expected to have multiple severe or catastrophic adverse effects on organizational operations, organizational assets, individuals, or other organizations. The threat event could be expected, so 8 would be to severe or catastrophic adverse effects. And so I would probably be rating this right in that 8 or 9 area, just because, you know, lawsuits aren't cheap. This is also typically where you would have some type of like errors or corrections, insurance, or, you know, something to assist with that to some extent, to somewhat mitigate it. And so I'm going to go ahead and mark this at like an 8, and that's going to bring our total up to a 16. And so if we look over here on our heat map, then we could see a 16 is going to be here in this yellow zone. All right, I just want to double check chat real quick. Yeah, and you can join us on YouTube as well, Eve. So if you go, so it's just study GRC on YouTube or studygrc.org. Correct, B-dubs. So also the CFO might have something on that as well. And then there's also another one that we could even add here as well for like financial regulations, especially being nonprofit. There's a lot of different nuances to that as well. And so then what would be some of the different risk response to that? So the strategy itself. So then, you know, that's where education would come in. Education, training. Consult would probably be a good one as well. And then also some type of business insurance of some sort to help mitigate some of that risk. Oh, that's weird. That's not. All right. And so we would want to go through and do like regular training or so some type of regular training to ensure compliance. We would want to seek legal consults for some expert opinion on that topic as well. And then also it wouldn't be a bad idea to review insurance options. Hey, welcome to the party, pal, Cletus. All right, and then one of the only other ones, so the last one on this list here is going to be dependence on external partners. We did talk a little bit about platform dependency, but so this is a little bit different for external partners. So disruption of operations, loss of resources, difficulty in meeting community needs would be some of the different consequence. And that can happen because our partners have financial difficulties, change in strategy, termination of partnership. So this is kind of along the lines of like sponsorships, or that would be the larger impact, would be sponsorship issues with that, or just partners in general, because also, you know, if we do partner with anybody, then you know, that could also have a negative like reputational damage to us as well. And so at this time, one of the different things is, so Cyber is actually our first sponsor. So cyber.com is sponsoring the giveaway itself. So that's a $50 a month giveaway inside of our Discord server. And so just to launch the first month of them doing that type of sponsor, we did go through and we're gifting out 2 of their memberships for this month. So you guys can check that out inside of our giveaways channel inside of the Discord server itself. But other than that, we don't have any other official. Simply Cyber, B-Dubs' website, and then also PBO are really great friends, but we don't have an official partnership. But now, what kind of likelihood and impact would this be? So unfortunately, I would say that this does definitely carry a likelihood here. So I originally marked that as a 3. So if we go ahead and check this out, then it would say that it would be occurring less than once a year, but more than once every 10 years. And so I had marked it as a 3, which would be right in between that and somewhat likely to occur, or occurs between 1 to 10 times a year. And so I could see that happening every couple years. I could see a partner being like, oh, hey, this isn't working, or, you know, something else happening, at least at this current point in time where, you know, we're still trying to find who to work with and so forth, and our metrics and so forth as well, which is what a lot of that bases off of as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and keep that as a 3. And then the impact itself is a 6 here. So then if we go back down here, you could see a 5 is going to be serious adverse effects or organizational operations. And then an 8 is going to be that severe or catastrophic. So even if we do lose one, and quite honestly, I may actually lower that down to a 5, just because it would be severe. But we also have to take into account reputational damage as well. So we may have to have like some type of response depending on like what might happen. And so that's probably why I did mark it as a 6 in the first place. And another thing that it did not mark here, so we did put out disruption of operations, loss of resources, difficulty in meeting community needs, but also reputational damage is also another thing here. So like brand perception. Reputational damage. All right, and then what are some of the different ways? Oh, okay. I'm just throwing my mouse across the room. It's all good. All right, so what are some of the different things that we could do to try to improve that a little bit? Well, we could have you know, more, we could have I don't want to say a severe vetting process, but definitely a vetting process for any partnerships, sponsorships, or anything like that that we do, which would help mitigate it a little bit, just to make sure that, you know, those businesses are stable, that it is a good fit and so forth, and we would be able to work well together to try to minimize that potential. So definitely like a vetting process. Also regular partner review. So I think that's one of the things that some other companies and so forth may overlook, is that they partner with a company, but then they never look at what they're doing. What are they posting on social media? What kind of stances are they taking? Have they had any negative PR, or has there been issues and so forth with them? And so regularly reviewing that just to check in on them is an important thing as well. Regular partner review. And then also, like, I'm even gonna mark proper budgeting. So, or I'll just go ahead and put budgeting, because also, like, another thing is I don't want to be dependent on sponsorship or otherwise. So if we're living outside of our capabilities and we are relying on sponsors that could be gone the next month or something like that, then that is a problem. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. Oh, welcome to the party, pal, Robert. And then also I see Luke popped in, and then PBO says that they're studying for the AWS Certified System Ops Administrator. PBO is also going to knock out that CISSP in the near future, I bet. Let me catch up on chat here. Oh, we even got Dwight in the chat. Welcome to the party, pal. Yeah, and also, like Dwight mentions, is we're not in scope for most of those state privacy laws. Yeah, that's one benefit. Luke Canfield has been working on Cloud Guru and AWS stuff. That's something I mentioned the other day, is that's something I need to work on more, is the cloud stuff. How's it going there, Robert? Welcome to the party, pal. Yeah, PBO's been working on that CISSP for a moment now. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fill this out. And then, like I said, today is just gonna be kind of a review AMA kind of thing. We may cut it early as well, because next week, so next Monday and Tuesday, we'll be going back over this entire document that we've built so far, and just making sure everything's good to go. And so then, let's see here. So like implement partner validation, and culture fit. Partner validation, reliability, and culture fit process. So we want to make sure that anybody that we do partner with is going to be preferably reliable, and then also is a good fit for us as well, mitigating that a little bit. And then also we would want to do something to where, like, maybe each quarter, so quarterly review, quarterly partner review, where that would be a process where we just go through, we check with the partners, where we ask them, like, hey, how's everything going? Are there any problems, any issues, or things like that? We could just do a quick call or something like that just to check with them. That could also involve checking their social media, checking the news, just going through and seeing how everything's going overall, and making sure that everything is still going as planned. And then also another thing here too is limiting, like, dependency. I can't even see this. Yeah, because then also, like, this next section here. So we marked out vetting process, regular partner review, and budgeting for this dependence on external partners. All right. And so I'm going to put limiting dependence on partners. And then I'll probably do proper budgeting or something like that. And so this is also going to fall underneath like CFO and then also likely the CTO. Well, no, that would actually probably fall under me. So CFO and president. All right. So we got those line items out. So now we have this completely filled out. And so now I just want to like open it up. Have any of you guys been going through and building anything else alongside us while we go through this? Does anybody have any questions or otherwise? If I don't know it, then I'm sure somebody else that we know does know the answer. Oh, B-dubs. Welcome
Somebody
to the party,
else
pal.
that we know, huh?
Yeah, welcome to the party, pal.
I've been here. Welcome.
Always hiding behind the glass.
Yeah, I like to hide. I'm a lurker.
But yeah, I'm just double checking chat here. So, oh, are we putting together a study group for the CISSP or something?
Yeah, it looks like PBO's starting a study group for CISSP.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I just voluntold him.
And I'm going to go ahead and drop the open stage link as well if anybody did want to come up. So we'll go ahead and wait around for a few minutes and see if you guys do have any questions or otherwise. Definitely drop those in chat. Even if it doesn't pertain to what we're working on now, we could still go through and answer questions or otherwise. And then, like I said, next week we will be going through and reviewing all of this. I just wanted to kind of stay on track and have that prepared for next week. Is PBO still in chat? I hope PBO knows that he's doing the study group now.
I don't think he knows. He disappeared. Oh, wait, here he is.
PBO is blocking the study group, young lady. I got sweaters on. No peer
Blocking
pressure.
the study group.
I'm blocking it. I don't know.
I mean, I'll do it with you.
That's too much peer pressure for an old guy.
I'll join
Oh,
PBO.
come on.
Oh, let me put my camera on. So everybody's camera. What's my camera not working?
I'll join you in a study group for the CISSP.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
I
not going
probably
to take
need
an
one.
exam yet, but
Keep
I'm
pushing
happy to
it back.
study for it.
Where's my camera not working?
You better patch that.
Yeah, I need to
Oh, you
press
got to
it.
patch it.
I got so much stuff open. I don't think I got any of that.
I have the same
Oh, I
problem.
see what's going on. Yeah, I'm scheduling my my live tonight, and I think my camera's on down there, so I need to finish scheduling it. And I think I can. I don't know why I did that. I'm going live on Facebook.
And you're going for another AWS cert?
Yeah, I gotta get my
Don't
AWS.
you already have like 3 of them?
I have 4. I have 4.
What's one more?
We talked. Yeah, we talked about that too, though. I think. Let's see. I got 8 hours for that. You don't want to go too cert crazy. I use it just to validate my studying. A lot of times I don't put them all on my resume unless I need it. You know, we kind of talked about that. You could be over cert. So.
Yeah, PBO, especially with all your years, you already got to take time off. So
yeah, so yeah, that too. So yeah, and it's my last couple of interviews. Shout out to Luke. He's getting on his AWS's. People really start looking for cloud, even in the GRC, one of the clouds, because most of the stuff I review now, it's in the cloud. Third-party vendors, our software. We have developers putting stuff in the cloud, so all this has to be reviewed from a GRC perspective. And a lot of CTOs, not B does, but I know she's not the CTO. They're dicks, man. If you don't know what you're doing, they try to run over you because you're trying to give them the requirements and they don't want to do them. So if you're not fundamentally sound, man, they'll run over you. I had this one CTO. It's probably 10 years ago. He told me I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, now I had to roll up my sleeve. Time for the thunder punch now. So I was warming up. So yeah,
Thunder punch.
the thunder punch. Ooh, I gotta lose some
Well,
weight.
and look at that. It looks like
And
PBO is going live tonight in
There you
8
go.
hours.
So
Did
yeah.
PBO say lab?
Yep, I'm getting some labs together. Yeah, because in my I do digital cloud. Luke said, I forgot which one he said. Everybody uses that one a lot. I found this Australian dude I like in digital cloud, and I bought it. So there's a ton of labs in there. So I was doing S3 bucket, make sure it was encrypted.
What was that guy's name? You've shared it before. I just don't
Oh,
remember who
God,
it
I
is.
gotta
off
look
the
it
bat.
up real quick.
Come on, PBO, get it
I'm
together.
doing one. I'm doing one of his lives. I'll look it up real quick. But yeah, he seems pretty popular. But that one you've been sharing, I'm kind of liking those guys. I might delve over to him.
I mean, you can spin up a whole AWS environment in one click. Pretty sweet.
They got that too. You can buy them and then you stand in their sandbox. We talked about. I usually just spin up my own labs and my own little, because they're pretty cheap unless you run them all day. So you can get them up. Then you can use the EC2s that you get like 80% off. But if AWS needs them, they'll take them from you. So a lot of times I use that for my labs.
Yeah, and like one of the things I would definitely recommend is that Cyber does have these free ones. So I think they have like 10 or so. They actually have 2 pages to this free section for labs. And so you just register and then it's literally a click of a button and it actually opens up in a real AWS account, which is what I find unique compared to other ones.
Digital clouds like that. I mean, I think it's 100, but you get them for a year and you can run them as many times as you want. So I was doing that for a while. And too, if you change your emails, you can get a year on AWS too.
Change a few emails.
Yeah, change a few emails. I don't do it, but I mean, shout out to me.
Of course not.
I make a little money.
That's one of the things I liked about Cyber so much off the bat, because I mean, I started using that platform like 2 years ago. Is that I didn't have to go through and get the free trial from AWS or configure anything myself. These labs are already configured.
Yep.
So.
The other thing too I liked is once you get to a certain level, I like configuring the labs and spinning them up, and so. But no, you're right. When you first start, and you don't want to be taking all that additional, like you said, additional weight of trying to configure them and making sure you got the proper permissions. Once you get in the lab, all that's set up. Chris, I put that in the back chat for the digital cloud guy, my Australian homie. So yeah, they're pretty good.
Homie.
You don't have an affiliate link?
No.
Oh, come on. You've talked him up so much.
Yeah, so they actually have a boot camp. I might do their boot camp.
A boot camp?
Yeah, I know. Going through a boot camp now.
I know Chris gonna pass out. He almost anti-boot camp, so I don't know.
PBO
Chris might ban me. Yeah, Chris gonna time me out. Chris gonna time me out. So yeah, I'm thinking about it.
He almost banned me for talking about my joking about my own boot camp that I was not starting.
I was doing a presentation. I come back and everyone's talking about your boot camp. It was very off-putting.
I'm in there.
Sorry, not sorry.
B-Dub's got a boot camp. I'm in there.
Oh yeah. Definitely check out B-Dubs' website and blog articles every single Monday.
Technically, it's a free boot camp via blog articles every Monday. There you go.
Yes.
Bam.
I shared you out on LinkedIn. Give you a shout out on the LinkedIn.
Yeah, and I have videos on them now, starting this week.
Facts, doing big things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I'll probably bring this to an end here in a couple minutes. Thank you all for hopping in and so forth. Let's see. Oh, I see Dwight's added some extra facts here. So Dwight also mentions I would limit to critical partners or donors who have high dollar donation sponsorship.
Facts.
It's all about that money, right? Straight cash, homie.
Facts, man. You're gonna have your levels, man. Platinum, gold, and silver levels, man. You getting up there with different levels of sponsorships, like we're a golf tournament. Now, shout out to Luke. I do like a cloud guru's pretty good, or a cloud guru, whatever. That's pretty good. I've seen it. Like I said, I just kind of linked up with. I kind of like the Australian guy, so I've been running with that. I think I'm gonna switch over to Cyber.
which link are you looking for? And I could drop it in chat. So I did drop these other ones in chat already. Were you looking for like the cyber link, or what link in particular were you looking for? The risk registers that we were working on.
Oh, I have
and
one
I could
question.
go ahead and drop those in chat for you. Man, why? Why does my mouse keep trying to fall off?
I seen them. I
Oh,
thought
for
you threw
B-Dub's boot camp.
it.
Oh, jeez.
He
Yeah, so if
hating
you
on the
look
boot
right
camp.
above, you'll see so britwhite.io, and so that is B-Dubs' website. And I highly recommend subscribing to that or otherwise. It's completely free, no paywalls or anything like that. There is a donation option if you so choose to do so, but you don't get anything extra for it. There's no benefits to donation or otherwise. You just go through and support the blog itself. Absolutely no obligations whatsoever. She just donates her, 10 hours a week to high quality articles.
10 hours,
And-
more than that. But
Right.
I'll give you brownie points.
Shout out to the Browns.
One of the other big things about B-Dubs' website too is taking feedback, but then also requests as well. So if there's something you want to learn more about, or otherwise, you can also reach out to B-Dubs. Discord's a really good option for that. And just let her know, like, hey, could you do something on this or that?
I'm actually known to drastically change what I'm planning to release the next Monday, just because someone wanted to know something really cool. Or not cool, either way.
It's always
Yeah, and
cool.
welcome to the Party Pal stuff. So we were just, we've been building out the risk register on Monday and Tuesdays. Today, we just went back over and just filled out a couple of the line items. And then now we're going to go ahead and kill the video here shortly and cut it a little bit short, because next week we're going to be doing Monday and Tuesday reviewing the risk register that we've already built out itself. And then starting out next month, we're going to be starting out with like trying to list out what vendors and platforms we utilize, and also like our asset inventory to get that stuff prepared to go into assessment.
Shout out to the asset inventory. That could be brutal.
Yeah, we're doing the entire categorize section at this time is kind of what we're trying to do. If you look at the 837, then we're trying to categorize and figure out what do we even have, so then we could figure out what we want to have, and then go into the assessment stage.
And I'm gonna talk
Trying
a
to
little
follow
bit.
PPO's footsteps.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that because I work for some big clients that have 50,000 devices. We can never get our inventory 100%, man. We got the devices. It was brutal. So that inventory, it sounds easy, but when you work for big companies, man, we got 40,000 devices.
Yeah.
And I did want to chime in on one of the risk registers. I thought you made a good point, was the financials. A lot of times in bigger companies, they do 3 levels of financials for the like the account takeover. Like if you're a regular employee, we really don't care. Now, if you get the CFO's account and you can start sending out fake procurements, because one company, they were sending out fake procurements and stole $1 million because they were sending fake procurements. So we usually do 3 levels of financial risk. Like if you're a regular employee, like PBI, I don't have any money things, but I can get in some systems. But for that, if you get procurement VPs or somebody that can, sign off on bank statements, right? That's a different level. So a lot of times we do 3 levels of financials in there. Because when we do our incident response, B does CFO, if somebody get her account, that she can do a lot of damage. PBO is just a consultant. He has no money. So we do 3 different levels. So when you look up that level of account, you can figure out the financial impact of that kind of quick. So,
Bam. Yeah, that would be beneficial.
Yeah, so you don't have to be
trusting
scrambling
PBO with money either.
Yeah, fact. So you don't have to be scrambling. One time something happened, and we're like, okay, what can that account do? We were like, oh. So then we kind of have it categorized with your job function. We know. Shout out to Dwight. He's head of privacy, so he can move a lot of money, like Pablo Escobar type money. So once again, we do it by job functions, the level of impact from technical. Like if you're a DBA, you don't have any money, but if you still a database with all SSNs in it, right? That's a big impact. So we do a technical and a financial impact.
Yeah, especially with you checking out this boot camp and so forth. Yeah,
Right,
that sounds like a smart move.
Facts, man. We gotta do the boot camps, man. I like the Australia guy. I'm
You
pretty.
should tell them not to use the word boot camp at least.
I know, man.
We need another term.
That's your trigger word when Chris like me, boot camp thunder punch. It's a boot camp thunder punch. But yeah, like I said, the risk register you're doing is right on point, and for a smaller company, it's definitely on point. Just when you do a little bigger companies, we had to crosswalk that because the IRS be asking for that type of data. Shout out, and I think I'm an interviewer. She was a compliance director. So she used to give PBRs all the assignments, and I had to go figure it out. But no, when you once again those big state Fed type stuff, and that's where GRC comes, into play because big federal accounts, you're doing about 1,000 pages for SSP and all that stuff that's in there.
Well, and yeah, I mean it's a completely different ball game when you have like 50,000 assets or more. And like I've heard about companies having like over 250,000 assets.
I worked for Fortune 400 Pharmaceuticals with it was a global company. They had offices in Brazil, India, and somewhere else. So it was a crazy amount of assets.
Yeah, that's the part that would worry me. Yeah, so I think we'll go ahead and end it here. So we just went back over a little bit of this here, filled out the last couple of line items. I did drop the links for these in the chat. If you guys have any questions or if you guys need any other links, definitely feel free to reach out. Also check us out on our Discord server as well, which I'll drop that one more time here. And then we will catch you tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be talking about like network fundamentals, like connecting your Wi-Fi to your router. What does the router even do? That kind of basics. So
you VLANing it tomorrow? Or is it too advanced?
I'll be mentioning like VLANs.
Okay. That's my weakest part, so I'm gonna have to let you drive. That's my 2026, man. I was gonna try to get better in my
2026.
You gotta have long-term goals. I'm old.
PBO, you just keep pushing that back. I remember you saying 2024 is going to be the year for CISSP.
I know, but like I tell people, you gotta have big goals. If you hit all your goals are too little. That's what I tell people. That was a big goal. I failed, so I had to move to 2025. So. Yeah,
but yeah, definitely go check out PBO's channel as well. So PBO goes live every single Tuesday night. He also has well over 800 videos now and an entire compliance playlist. So thank you all for hopping in and joining us. If you guys have any questions, definitely drop those in the comments below or check out our Discord server as well. So studygrc.org. We're now streaming 5 days a week. GRC Mafia. But thank you guys again, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. GRC Mafia.